Day. Okay. Today's edification, we're going to talk about Satan, aka the devil, aka Lucifer, aka all of the angels, basically, that works on the Most High's left-hand side. So the Most High's angel on his right and his left-hand side. But before we even start, Mr. Gives praises to the Most High. Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Barakatha, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha, Nathaniah, Hakayam, Yadayaf, Wafa by one, Iwad, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Barakatha, Tawada, Amen. All praises to the Father and the Son. Double honors to all the elders out there of the GMS camps. Elder Apostle Rhymelab, Elder Apostle Kabar, Elder Apostle Rakar, Elder Apostle Tahar. All praises to all the other camps out there doing the work in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai. And all praises to all those who know they are Hebrew Israelites, who believe they're Israelites, who believe salvation is for the Israel only, and that only 1/3 of Israel can receive salvation. All praises. Anyway, today's edification, we're going to talk about Satan. Satan is an angel of the Lord. It's one of the sons of the Most High. It's one of he's one of the sons of the power. He's an angel, just like Michael's an angel, but Michael is the head angel on the right-hand side of the Most High, whereas Satan is the head angel on the left-hand side of the Most High. There isn't no Satan, devil, Lucifer running around doing things that no one knows about. That's not happening. There isn't no angel that's fighting the Most High on his every orders and what he's trying to do, what he's trying to, on his plans for Israel, his plans for the other nations, of his plans for the heathens, of his plans for the unrighteous, or his plans for the righteous. There isn't no, Satan ain't running around there doing anything that the Most High is not allowing him to do or giving him the orders to do. Don't be under any illusion, that Satan is some angel that was miraculously kicked out of heaven with some squabble with the Most High, ended up on earth and was given this as his realm to do his works. No. Satan, the devil, Lucifer, whatever you want to call him, is an angel, just like how Michael and Gabriel and Ariel are angels for the Most High. So is Satan an angel, but he's an angel on the Most High's left-hand side. Yeah? So he's got angels that do his righteous work for him, and he's got angels that do what we can say, for lack of a better word, evil work for the Most High. That does the evil work. That does the things that the Most High needs to be done on the left-hand side, basically, because the Most High deals in total balance. Okay, you don't have a Most High and you've got some angel running around called Satan or Lucifer, the devil, that's doing what he wants, when he wants, how he wants. It don't work like that. The Most High run things no different from your CEO, your chairman, your owner of a company. The owner is numero uno. He's the owner. He can become the CEO, the chairman, whatever position he wants. He hires and fires who he wants. Yeah? The Most High is no different. He hires and fires who he wants. He puts up into power who he wants. He takes out of power who he wants. Yeah? All of these things are done through his angels. Everything. All these works are done through his angels. Yeah? As well as obviously his prophets. Yeah, and Yahweh Shai. So we're going to start here. I want to start in 2 Kings, because I want people to have to understand that when the Most High needs something done, he summons his angels, and one of them will put themselves forward, or he'll decide which one he'll send forth to go and do his works. So I want you to understand this, because I know your churches, whether it's your Catholic church, your Pentecostal church, your Protestant church, your Jehovah's Witness church, your Mormon churches, it doesn't matter what it is, what organizations you belong to, what Christian denomination you belong to, they all will they all agree on one thing. They all believe that Satan is this entity running around with a fork. He's got a tail, he's red, he's got two horns. He sits in a place called hell, waiting for the souls of the damned to come so he can be their ruler in this place called hell. It is a complete, utter myth. Yeah? Hell just comes from the Greek word Hades, which comes from the Hebrew word Sheol, which just means grave, your grave, where you get buried in your grave. Hell. Hell is it's also like trying to find the right word to use for it. It's like we would say we're living in hell. We're in hell now. For us, Israel. Yeah? For us, Negroes, black people, we are living in hell. This is the white man's heaven, but the black man's hell. And I'm sure you've heard that saying many a times. Yeah? Because we are the most endangered species on this planet. More endangered than any animal, any other nation. So this is our hell. So hell is a condition as well. Can be a condition as well as your grave. But there isn't no hell where some devil sitting with some fork. He's red. Two horns, tail, this and that. That's complete utter bullshit. Yeah? So, like I said, we're going to start here in 1 Kings chapter 22 verse 1, yeah? The reason why I want to start is I want to get a quick understanding of the story and how we get to where we get to where we're going to get to, yeah? So it says, and they continued 3 years without war between Syria and Israel, yeah? And it came to pass, yeah, and it came to pass in the 3rd year that Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, came down to the king, yeah, to the king of Israel, yeah? And the king of Israel said unto the servants, Know ye that Ramoth in Gilead is ours, and we still and we be still and take it not out of the hand of the king of Syria. Yeah, because Ramoth Gilead is part of Israel, and it will become back part of Israel when our Lord and Savior returns with the mighty angels. Yeah. And he said unto Jehoshaphat, Wilt thou go with me to the battle to Ramoth Gilead? And Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel, because at this time Israel was split into 2 kingdoms. Yeah, you've got the northern kingdom and you've got the southern kingdom. Yeah, so you got Jehoshaphat as the king of, and Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel. So you got Jehoshaphat as the king of Judah. Yeah, and I think it's Ahab is the king of Israel at this time. So anyway, and Jehoshaphat said unto the king of Israel, Inquire, I pray thee, at the word of Yahweh today. So he wants him to go and inquire of the Most High if we should be going to war against the Syrians. Yeah, to claim back the land of Ramoth Gilead. Yeah. So then the king of Israel gathered the prophets together, about 400 men, and said unto them, Shall I go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And they said, Go up, for Yahweh shall deliver it into the hand of the king. And Jehoshaphat said, Is there not here a prophet of the Lord, besides that we might inquire of him? Yeah, so Jehoshaphat wants someone who's dealing directly with the Lord, who's had dealings with the Lord's angels, to give him information regarding the children of Israel, whether it's going to war, not going to war, whether it's making a pact with another nation or not, or within their own society. But they always seek the advice of the Most High, and then the Most High will send his angels to give his advice to the prophet, and then the prophet will come and speak to the people. Most of the times, the prophet, when he's come to speak to the people, he's got the word of the Most High, he's coming to chastise them, to let them know that they've gone off and that they've been going off for so long, and that a judgment is coming to befall them. This is why when the prophets back in those days came to speak to the king, or to his court, or to the people, they were frightened of what he was going to say, because most of the time it was bad news for them, but good news for the Most High, to put them on the straight and narrow, and get them away from the broad and wide, basically, yeah? So, verse 8, And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, There is yet one man, yeah? Micah, excuse me, Micah, the son of Imlah, by whom we may inquire of Yahweh, but I but I hate him, for he does not prophesy good concerning me. What did I just say? But evil. And Jehoshaphat said let not the king say so, because that's all they want to hear. They want to hear smooth news, good news. They don't want to hear. That's why they were frightened of the prophets back then. And believe me, the people of today should be feeling the same way about us bringing out the word to them. They should be frightened to the point that they should understand that we're only delivering you the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai according to the scriptures, not according to our hearts or our feelings or what we want it to be or what we want to will it to be, just according to the word of the Most High. And we're going to give it to you in spirit and in truth, nothing else. Yeah? So that's why they were frightened of them, just like I said. Then the king of Israel called an officer and said, hasten hither Micah, the son of Imlah. Yeah? And the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, sat each on his throne, having put on their robes in a void place in the entrance, of the gate of Samaria, in the gate of Samaria, and all the prophets prophesied before them. And Zedekiah, the son of Chenan, made him horns of iron. And he said, thus says Yahweh, will these shall thou push the Syrians until thou have consumed them. Yeah? So I'll say it again. And Zedekiah, the son of Chenana, made him horns of iron. And he said, thus says Yahweh, with these shall thou push the Syrians until thou have consumed them. So this is another prophet, Zedekiah. Yeah? And all the prophets prophesied so, saying, go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for Yahweh shall deliver it unto the king's hand. So Zedekiah and all the other prophets are saying what the king and his court and the rest of his entourage, his noblemen, want to hear. They want to hear, yes, go to war. They want to hear, yes, we're going to have a victory. They want to hear, yes, the Lord sanctions this. This is what they want to hear, right? They don't care how they get that message. They just want to hear one of the prophets come and tell them this, yeah? So, and they don't, and basically, it's to do with whether or not the Lord sent that prophet or not. Yeah? So they're coming to him and saying, yeah, the Lord has said this to us and go this, right? So, and the messenger that was gone to call Micaiah spoke unto him, saying, behold now, the words of the prophets declare good unto the king with one mouth. Yeah, so he's saying, so the messenger who's going to get the other prophet, Micaiah, who's a prophet of the Lord as well, is saying to him, look, those 400 prophets have just told the king, yep, go to war, it's good news, they're gonna be successful, and they're gonna defeat the Syrians. And so has Zedekiah, who's the head prophet of those 400 prophets. So he's basically saying to him, when you go and see the king now, you need to confirm that story. I don't want to hear you tell the king any other different story. Yeah, I want you to just confirm that story. So at this time, the messenger, as also the king, is not really interested in hearing what the Most High has got to say. They're interested in hearing what they want to hear. What they want to hear is what has been said to them. They don't want to hear what the Most High truly has to say. This is why the messenger is telling Micaiah that he must fall in line, basically, with what everybody else has said once he goes in front of the king. Yeah? So he says, behold now, the words of the prophets declare good unto the king with one mouth. Let thy word, I pray thee, be like the word of one of them, and speak that which is good, which I just said to you. So, and Micaiah said, as Yahweh liveth, what Yahweh says unto me, that will I speak. So he's saying, no, I'm a man of the Lord, mate. I ain't into fabricating or polishing or saying smooth things or even saying bad things that I mean to say. I'm here to tell you what our Lord and Savior has told me I must bring to you. Yeah? What it is I must tell the king. Simple as that. I'm not going to tell you what I feel, what you feel. I'm just going to bring you the word of the Most High. Yeah, and when the angel of the Lord comes to see me, yeah, whether it's in my vision, he comes there, or in my dream, or he comes to actually see me and appears in front of me, whatever he tells, whatever message he brings from the Most High, that's what he's going to bring back to the king. So, go back to that verse, verse 14. So, and Micaiah said, as Yahweh liveth, what Yahweh says unto me, that will I speak. So he came to the king, and the king said unto him, Micaiah, shall we go up against Ramoth Gilead to battle? And I believe Syria still occupied that land today, Ramoth Gilead. I think that's what they call the Golan Heights. I may not be 100% right, but I believe that's what we know as the Golan Heights today, which is still occupied by Syria. Yeah. And I think Israel control parts of it as well, if I'm honest with you. I may be wrong there, because I think Israel had that as some sort of military zone, like some sort of DMZ, demilitarized zone. I think that's what they've got the Golan Heights as. Yeah. But anyway, let's get back on point here. So he came to the king, and the king said unto him, Micaiah, shall we go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall we forbear? And he answered him, Go and prosper, for Yahweh shall deliver it unto the hand of the king. So Micaiah has given them, basically has done what the messenger has said, even though he's basically said, look, he said, Micaiah said, as he will live, what Yahweh says unto me, that will I speak. Even though, if we go to the verse before, he's saying, no, I'm only going to tell you what Yahweh said unto me. Yeah? So he came to the king, and the king said unto him, Micaiah, shall we go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall we forbear? And he answered him, Go and prosper, for Yahweh shall deliver it into the hand of the king. And the king said unto him, How many times shall I adjourn thee, that thou tell me nothing but what is true in the name of Yahweh? So the king is pushing him now and say, look, I don't want now, because the king's probably thinking serious about it, I don't want you to now just to fall in line. I want you to tell me exactly what it is the angel of the Lord has said to you. So he says, and he said, I saw all Israel. We go back there. So and the king said unto him, How many times shall I adjourn thee, that thou tell me nothing but which is true in the name of Yahweh? Yeah. So he's basically saying to, like I said to you before, that look, I understand that you're sitting in there, you're falling in line, and you're saying everything that you've been told to say, except what the Lord has told you to say. So the king basically said to him, said, look, I need you to just tell me the truth here now. Yeah. Forget about what I might want to hear, not want to hear. Just tell me the truth of what the message the Lord gave to you. Yeah. And the king, so we'll go back to verse 16. And the king said unto him, How many times shall I adjourn thee, that thou tell me nothing but that which is true in the name of Yahweh? And he said, I saw all Israel scattered upon the hills, as the sheep that have not a shepherd. And Yahweh said, These have no master, let them return every man to his house in peace. Yeah. So what he saw is Israel scattered all on the hills, basically being defeated by the Assyrians. They've been scattered on the hills. He's seen bodies scattered all across the hills. He's seen their leaders have been destroyed and killed. Their captains, their sergeants, the lieutenants, whatever. All their leaders are dead. So he's seen a massacre happening to Israel in this fight against the Syrians. Yeah. So and the king of Israel says unto Jehoshaphat, Did I not tell thee that he would prophesy no good concerning me, but evil? Yeah. So I just want to set something out here, because I believe okay, because I was just trying to see if it was King Jehoshaphat or the king of Israel that asked him that. So anyway, and he said, and he said, I saw Israel scattered upon the hills as sheep that have not a shepherd, and the Lord said, and Yahweh said These have no master, let them return every man to his house in peace. Yeah. So the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, Did I not tell thee that he would prophesy no good concerning me, but evil? And he said, Hear thou therefore the word of Yahweh. I saw Yahweh sitting on his throne. Yeah. And all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand, yeah, and on his left, yeah. And Yahweh said, let me just go back up here, let's start again, sorry. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, Did I not tell thee that he would prophesy no good concerning me, but evil, yeah? And he said, Hear thou therefore the word of Yahweh. I saw Yahweh sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. Right? Listen carefully, people, right? So, and Yahweh said, Who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? Yeah. And one said on his manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit and stood before Yahweh and said, I will persuade him. Yeah. And Yahweh said unto him, all right, so you've got an angel that's come. So you've got all the angels up in heaven. All those, remember, you've got the tens of thousands of, I think it's 100 million angels that worship Yahweh in front of him all day and all night. that can sing praises to him. I believe it. If you look in the book of Revelation, it says 10,000 times 10,000, which is 100 million that stand in front of him, worship him day and night. Yeah. So he's saying here, so he says, and Yahweh said unto them, yeah, whereas, and he said, so let me go back up one. I'm going back up two. And Yahweh said, who shall persuade Ahab? Yeah, so that is the king of Israel, King Ahab, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead. Yeah, that's where they want to go to battle against the Syrians. And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit, which is an angel, that stood before Yahweh and said, I will persuade him. Right? And Yahweh said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him, and prevail also, go forth and do so. And therefore, behold, Yahweh has put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and Yahweh has spoken evil concerning thee. Yeah. But Zedekiah, the son of Chenaiah, went near and smote Micaiah on his cheek, and said, which way went the spirit of Yahweh from me to speak unto thee? So this is Micaiah, this is the prophet that's saying, because the king has said to him, look, just come clean and tell me what the Most High has said and what he's done and what we're meant to do. So the prophet Micaiah has come forth and he said, look, we'll just quickly go back up here a minute. This is when King Ahab says this to the prophet Micaiah. He says, and the king said unto him, how many times shall I adjourn thee that thou tell me nothing but which is true in the name of Yahweh? Right? And he said, I saw all the Israel scattered upon the hill. So this is when Micaiah the prophet now is telling him, okay, I'm going to tell the truth now. After he told him before I pay, he said, look, he said, and Micaiah said, so we're in verse 14, and Micaiah said, as Yahweh liveth, what Yahweh says unto me that I will speak. So he came to the king, and the king said unto him, Micah, shall we go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall we forbear? And he answered him, go and prosper, for Yahweh shall deliver unto him the hand of the king. So when he first went in front of the king, I just want to reiterate this. The prophet Micaiah basically lied to him, didn't tell him what the Most High told him, what he saw in the vision, what the Most High showed him. He kept with message, and he basically told King Ahab, the king of Israel, what he wanted to hear, because the messenger that came to get Micaiah to bring him before the king said, look, you better not say anything else but what the other prophets have said. So that's why he's done that the first time, out of fear. Yeah, where he should have feared the Most High, really, and not the king. But all said and done, he's there, he's a person, he's human, and those are our weaknesses. Sometimes we do buckle, yeah? So he feared the king and whoever he had in front of him, because remember, he's standing in front of two kings. He's in the court, he's standing in front of the king of Israel and the king of Judah, yeah? So King Jehoshaphat is there and King Ahab is there, right? So it's a big thing, it's a big thing, and he's coming there and he's been told by one of the king's captains or guards that's going to get him, say, look, you better keep in line and don't fall out of line. You better tell him the same thing that Zedekiah said to him and so forth and that. So he did that the first time. And then he says, and then the king said unto him, how many times shall I adjourn thee that thou shalt tell me nothing but that which is true in the name of Yahweh? So he said, look, so the king has basically said to him, look, don't worry about what those 400 prophets have said or what Zedekiah said. Tell me what conversations, what visions you've had with the Lord or the Lord's angels, Yahweh's angels, and what is the message that he said that we should do? Shall we go to war? Shall we not? So Micaiah said, okay, right. The king said, I can speak freely, so I'm going to speak freely now. So the prophet says, he said, I saw all of Israel scattered upon the hills. So he's seen a disaster. He's seen them being destroyed as the sheep that have not a shepherd. And Yahweh said, these have no master. Let them return every man to his house in peace. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, who is a king of Judah, did I not tell you these, that he would prophesy no good concerning me, but evil? Okay, so this is what he said to him. And he said, hear thou therefore the word of Yahweh. So when he said that, he said, okay, I'm going to tell exactly what. So now the prophet Micaiah is saying to King Ahab and King Jehoshaphat, now I'm going to give you the rundown, what it is, the vision I had from the Lord and the message I had to deliver to you. And he said, hear thou therefore the word of Yahweh. I saw Yahweh sitting on the throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on the right hand and on the left. Like I said, angels on the right, righteousness, angels on the left, do the wickedness or the evil for the Most High. Simple as that. Yeah. And Yahweh said, who shall persuade Ahab, and he may go up, so that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead, because he wants to see him destroyed. Because Ahab at that time, Ahab was one of the wicked kings of Israel. He had groves and altars of all different gods and worshipping Baal and Baal and the Edomites god and the god of Chemosh, the Moabite. He had all different altars in the land. He was doing all sorts of idolatry. He was a wicked king, Ahab. Yeah, and he brought enough destruction into the land of Israel in the northern kingdom. Yeah, he got them worshipping all sorts of things, doing human sacrifices. He started doing all of the things that all of the other nations were doing that surrounded Israel. Yeah, he became part of their worshipping and their spiritual realm, or whatever you want to call it. He removed himself from the Most High and was involved in total idolatry, King Ahab. Yeah. And Yahweh said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up to fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said of his manner, and another said of that manner, right? And there came forth a spirit, which is an angel, and stood before the Most High, right? Remember, this is happening in heaven, you know, right? And said, I will persuade him. So an angel's coming before the Most High and said, look, boy, all right, I will persuade him. Yeah. And Yahweh said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lion spirit in the mouth of all the prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also, and go forth and do so. So that angel that's come from the left of the Most High, yeah, sits on the left hand side of him, that's come and said, look, I'm going to volunteer and be that lion spirit. I'm going to go down and I'm going to whisper in the ears of all of those 400 prophets and Zedekiah, and I'm going to convince them. I'm going to convince them in a vision that they should go to war against the Syrians. Yeah. And the reason why the Lord did this, because he wanted Ahab to be defeated, because he was going to use the Syrians to chastise the northern kingdom for their total idolatry that was going on. Yeah. So verse 23. So now therefore, behold, Yahweh has put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these prophets. Yeah. So the Most High has put a lying spirit, right? So you can understand, to go and tell lies in the mouth of all of these prophets, and Yahweh has spoken evil concerning thee. But Zedekiah, the son of Sheanah, went near and smote Micah on the cheek and said, which way went the spirit of Yahweh from me to speak unto thee? Right? So Zedekiah is mocking him and box him in his face, right? In front of the kings, and said, which way did the spirit he said, which way? He said, which way went the spirit of Yahweh from me to speak unto thee? Right? So he's mocking him basically, yeah? Right? So Micaiah said, behold, thou shalt see in that day when thou shalt go into an inner chamber to hide thyself. So Micaiah just wants to look, you're going to see exactly which spirit we're dealing with, yeah? That has come to tell the lie to you, and that's gone. That's gone now from you, right? Because Zedekiah, the prophet, who's the head of the other 400 prophets, is trying to mock him on this, right? So Micaiah said, don't worry, man, behold, thou shalt see in that day. Right? So verse 26, and the king of Israel said, take Micaiah and carry him back unto Ammon, the governor of the city, and to Joash, the king's son, and say, thus says the king, put this fellow in the prison and feed him with bread of affliction and with water of affliction until I come in peace. So the king has said, look, because Micaiah had come and told him the truth, what's going to happen to Israel. He said, look, take him away, go and lock him up, put him in this prison, take him to a different town, put him in this prison, let the governor know that he must feed him with the bread of affliction, right? And the water of affliction, right? He don't want no one else to see or hear what Micaiah had to say. He don't want no one in Israel, he don't want none of the 10 tribes of the northern kingdom or the leaders of the 10 tribes to hear, to see what's going on, depending who was in the court amongst the nobles at the time with the 2 kings. It may have just been the 2 kings and a few captains, or it may have been the head of the different 10 tribes and the 2 kings. I don't know who was present in the court, but what we do know is that the king of Judah was there, the king of Israel was there, so was a couple of his captains and the person that brought him to the king, and so was Zedekiah the prophet and Micaiah the prophet, and probably the 400 other prophets were there sitting in the background somewhere. Yeah. And Micaiah said, if thou return at all in peace, Yahweh has not spoken by me. And he said, hearken, O people, every one of you. So Micaiah said, look, if you return in peace and you're successful, you defeat them, then the Lord wasn't dealing with him. And he humbly will accept that the Lord was never dealing with him in the first place. The Lord was using him as a tool to confuse Ahab, whatever. So he's basically put his life out on the line. He said, look, if he's not dealing with me, then boy, I'm up. You know, you do what you want with me in a sense. Excuse me, folks. So the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, went up to Ramoth Gilead. So now they've gone to war. King of Judah Jehoshaphat and the king of Israel, King Ahab, have gone to war against Syrians. So, and the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, I will disguise myself and enter into the battle, but put thou on thy robes. And the king of Israel disguised himself and went into the battle. So the king of Israel, because he was still worried about the prophecy that the prophet Micah brought to him, he was still concerned in the back of his head, thinking about it. He might not have been speaking out loud, but in the back of his head, that's why he changed his clothing. He didn't want to put on any royal material. So he would have been dressed in purple, in royal, whatever, any royal colours, anything that would have signified him as a royal dignitary. He removed it all from him and then went on a chariot that had no royal signets on them so that he wouldn't be identified as a king of Ahab during the war, because he feared something was going to happen. That he knew that that there's going to be some truth in Micah's prophecy. Yeah? So the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, I will disguise myself and enter into the battle, but put thou on thy robes. And the king of Israel disguised himself and went into the battle. But the king of Syria commanded his 32 captains that had ruled over his chariots, saying, fight neither with small nor great, save only with the king of Israel. So basically he was saying, look, don't worry about their captains, their lieutenants and so forth. Just seek out the king of Israel. We want their head man. We want the king of the northern kingdom. That's who we want on a placard. We want his head on a spear or whatever you want to call it. He said, don't worry about fighting the captains of the other. He said, just try in the battle. Just seek out, find out where he is. So, verse 32. And it came to pass that when the captains of the chariots saw Jehoshaphat, that they said, surely it is the king of Israel. And they turned aside to fight against him, and Jehoshaphat cried out. And it came to pass, when the captains of the chariots perceived that it was not the king of Israel, that they turned back from pursuing him. And this is why I say, boy, you can't mess with the Most High's prophecy. What is meant to come to pass will come to pass. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes. Right? So they've seen the king of Jehoshaphat. They've chased after him. He's screamed out. He bawled out when he sees himself under attack by all these captains of the Syrian guards. Yeah, the Syrian captains that come in their chariots. And then when they realised that it's not the king of Israel, they've turned back from pursuing him, because he's probably got his royal signatories on his chariot that shows that he's a king of Judah, not the king of Israel, that he's a king of the southern kingdom, not the king of the northern kingdom. So they've got close enough to realise, and saw his tags on his chariot or whatever, on his robes, and said, oh, that's not him, that's the king of Judah. That's not who we've been sent out for. Yeah? And then a certain man drew a bow out of, Right, and he cried out. And it came to pass that when the captains of the chariots perceived that it was not the king of Israel, that they turned back from pursuing him. And a certain man drew a bow at the venture, and smote the king of Israel between the joints of the harness. Wherefore he said unto the driver of his chariot, turn thy hand and carry me out of the host, for I am wounded. And the battle increased that day, that the king was stayed up and in the chariot against the Syrians, and died at the evening. And the blood ran out of the wound into the midst of the chariot. And there went a proclamation throughout the host about the going down of the sun, saying, every man to his city, and every man to his own country. So the king died and was brought to Samaria, and they buried the king in Samaria. So the king of Israel died, just like how the Most High said that if he goes out to battle, that he is going to die in that battle, and Israel's leaders are going to be scattered on the hills, and so are Israel going to be scattered. Yeah. And one washed the chariot in the pool of Samaria, and the dogs licked up the blood, and they washed his armor according to unto the word of Yahweh which he spake. Now that was a prophecy that was going to happen to Ahab. I forget what he did. He killed who he killed to the previous king or the previous king's family that was meant to come onto the throne. Basically, I forget exactly what it was, but it was what he did, that it was a prophecy that the dogs, that he was going to be killed in his chariot and be full of blood, and that the dogs would be licking up the blood as it washed his armor from his chariot and from his armor. Now the rest of the acts of Ahab, and all that he did, and the ivory house which he had made, and all the cities that he built, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? So Ahab slept with his fathers, and Ezekiah his son reigned in his stead. So this is one of the first instances where I can show you that the Lord summons an angel, a lying angel, an angel that's going to tell lies on his left-hand side, that's going to go down, and that's going to tell lies to 400 prophets and Prophet Zedekiah to cause them to go to war. Why? Because the Most High was using the Syrians to chastise the northern kingdom, and that the prophecy of Ahab here. So when it says here, it says, and one washed up the chariot in the pool of Samaria, and the dogs licked up his blood. Right? This, I'm going to quickly show you. I forget where it is a prophecy. Yeah. I'm going to quickly find it. Okay, here it is. And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, Thus says Yahweh, hast thou killed and also taken possession? And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, Thus says Yahweh, in the place where dogs lick the blood of Naboth, shall dogs lick thy blood, even thine. Right? So this was the prophecy here. I forgot what it was he did. And Ahab said to Elijah, it was Elijah. Okay, so what's fine. And Ahab said to Elijah, Hast thou found me, O my enemy? See, Ahab didn't want to deal with any prophets that was dealing with the Most High sincerely and bringing the word of the Most High, because he knew every time they come to him, it was just bad news, because he was such a wicked, idolatrous king, Ahab of the northern kingdom. So I got to laugh here. And Ahab says to Elijah, Hast thou found me? Elijah's probably look for him and probably find him in one of his big houses that he's got built up in Israel, in North Carolina at the time. It says, Oh, my enemy, is called Elijah. The prophet of the Most High is calling his enemy. And he answers, I have found thee, because thou hast sold thyself to work evil in the sight of Yahweh. Behold, I will bring evil upon thee, and will take away thy posterity, and will cut off from Ahab him that pisses against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel. And I will make thine house like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha, the son of Ahijah, for the provocation wherewith thou hast provoked me to anger, and made Israel to sin. And of Jezebel also spake Yahweh, saying, The dogs shall eat Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel. Him that dieth of Ahab in the city, the dog shall eat. Him that dieth in the field shall the fowl of the air eat. See? But there was none like unto Ahab, which did sell himself to work wickedness in the sight of Yahweh, whom Jezebel his wife stirred up, as he did very abominably in following idols, according to all things as did the Amorites, whom Yahweh cast out before the children of Israel. And it came to pass, when Ahab heard those words, that he rent his clothes and put sackcloth upon his flesh, and fasted and lay in sackcloth, and went softly. And the word of Yahweh came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, Seest thou how Ahab humbleth himself before me? Because he humbleth himself before me, I will not bring the evil in his days, but in his son's days will I bring the evil upon their house. Right? So that was to do with the killing of all of his children. Because what he did, if I remember, Ahab, he killed all of Nabat's kids, Jeroboam's kids, from the house of Jeroboam, if I remember. I believe that's yeah, I think if you read Kings, I'm not going to go through it, but if you read Kings, 1 Kings chapter 21, it will tell you the story of why it ended up like that. But all I was trying to show you here is that how Nahab was going to die was prophesied. That the dogs were going to lick his bones. It was all prophesied. That's how he was going to die. Yeah? It says, And thou also speak unto him, saying, Thus says Yahweh, Hast thou likened, hast thou killed and also taken possession? Hast thou spake unto him, saying, Thou sayest to Yahweh, In the place where the dogs lick the blood of Naboth, shall the dogs lick thy blood, even thine. So that was the prophecy. Yeah, because how they killed Nahab from the house of Jeroboam and made the dogs devour the body and so forth, and the fowls of the earth, and he didn't have a proper burial and the rest of it, and that the same was going to befall King Ahab. Yeah, that the dogs are going to lick the blood of the chariots of him Yeah, and that's exactly what happened to him. Like the dogs licked thy blood off his chariot after he died. So when after they took the body out of the chariot, the dogs, when they was licking the blood off the chariots, when they was trying to clean it and so forth, and that it was a prophecy that was going to befall him, and it happened. Yeah. So I just want you to understand that when I showed you that in Kings chapter 22, that it was a prophecy that was going to happen to Ahab because of what I said earlier. He was a wicked, idolatrous, evil, fucking worshipping king that we had, that was bringing down the whole nation with that. He was allowing everybody to worship who they want, when they want, where they want. And this is why the Most High had to get him taken out. So this is why the Most High sent the lion angel to his 400 prophets and Zedekiah, who he trusted with his thing, that everything they said to him that he would, he would follow. That Most High knew that and sent it to him, and basically created that situation to happen for him to be killed by the king of Syria, and for that prophecy to come to pass, that the dogs were going to lick up the blood of him on his chariot, basically after he had died. Yeah. So, which did happen to him because he did the same thing to Naboth. Yeah, who's from the house of Jeroboam. Anyway, so next one, we're going to show you angels. So we're in Psalm 78:49. It says here, he cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation, and trouble by sending what? Evil angels among them. He made a way to his anger. He spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence, and smote all the firstborn in Egypt, the chief of their strength in the tabernacle of Ham, which are the Africans, but made his own people to go forth like sheep, and guided them in the wilderness like a flock, and led them safely, so they feared not, and led them safely that they feared not, but they see overwhelmed their enemies. And he brought them to the border of the sanctuary, even to his mountain, which his right hand had purchased. He cast out the heathen also before them, and divided them an inheritance by line, and made the tribes of Israel to dwell in their tents. Yeah. So this happened in Egypt. Yeah. So when you see it says there, he cast upon them the fierce of his anger, wrath, and indignation, and trouble by sending evil angels among them. This was concerning to this here. Exodus 12 verse 29. And it came to pass that at midnight Yahweh smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that had sat on the throne unto the firstborn of the captive that was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of the cattle. And even looking at this verse here, it reiterates what we always say, that the Most High is only dealing with Israel, because if everyone else is going to receive salvation during the times of Egypt, when the Israelites received their salvation from their bondage under the Egyptians, it was only Israel that the Most High was dealing with, and that he was saving. So when he sent the angels of death to go and kill the firstborn of every person in Egypt, right, every animal, every person except Israel. So when it says there, it says, look, it says, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sat on his throne unto the firstborn of the captives. So remember, Egypt was known for, remember the word Egypt is synonymous with the word bondage, for slavery. They had slaves from all different nations that they've gone to war with over the times. You got the Hyksos, the Hyksos, you've got the probably some Assyrians probably would have been in there at that time. Maybe some Chaldeans or Babylon, I don't know, whoever they went to war with at the time, I'm just saying, they would have been made up part of their captives. Now, if the Lord was dealing with everyone, if everyone was going to receive salvation at that time, he wouldn't have, the Most High wouldn't have killed the firstborn of all the captives, because the captives are not the ones that have got Israel in captives, right? The people that got Israel in captives is Pharaoh, and the Egyptians. The captives are just like Israel. They're captives under bondage. But the Lord still did not choose to save them, because they are not Israel. He's only dealing with his own peculiar, special, the apple of his eye, his holy people, the holy nation, the children of Israel. So this is why he was quite happy to kill all the firstborn of the captives. But anyway, my point there was that sending evil angels among them. So those angels that were sent to kill all the firstborn were the angels on the left. Yes, I keep pulling my right hand because I'm looking at the screen. Sorry. On the left of the Most High. On the right are the righteous angels, or on the left are the, for lack of a better word, the unrighteous angels. The angels that are going to do the unrighteous work for the Most High, the evil work for the Most High. Yeah, because he commands, he's the commander of all. So he decides who goes and do the wicked and who goes and do the good. It's as simple as that. People must understand that the Most High deals in total balance. Total balance. To know good, you must know bad. To know hot, you must know cold. To know up, you must know down. Yeah? To know bottom, you must know top. To know left, you must know right. It's as simple as that. It's to do with total balance. Yeah? So, we're going to go to... So, we showed you that in Exodus. So, Job. So, we're going to go to Job. We're going to start Job chapter 2. Right? So, listen carefully, people. Again, there was a day when the sons of the Most High... Yeah? Sons of the Most High, sons of the power, came to present themselves before... Okay. Again, there was a day when the sons of the powers, yeah, so that will say Elohim, yeah, came, yeah, to present themselves before who? Yahweh, which is the Most High. Yeah, because remember what I tell you, anywhere you see the word Lord in capitals, all they've did is use that to replace his name, YHWH, tetragram of his name, which is Yahweh. Yeah, dealing with the Most High. So, again, there was a day when the sons of the powers, because that's Elohim, came to present themselves before Yahweh. And look at that, Satan came also among them to present himself before Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered Yahweh and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. Yeah? And Yahweh said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one of that feareth the Most High, and escheweth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. Right? So, the Most High is having a conversation with Satan. Yeah? Remember, your Catholic churches, your Christian churches, your Black Pentecostal churches, your Jehovah's Witness churches, your Mormon churches, your all these different Christian denominations that try to strip out the scriptures, dealing with scriptures, have told you that Satan was banished from heaven, that Satan and the Most High are adversaries, that's the Most High's adversary, yeah? And that Satan is running around doing all these evil things and fighting to take control of what the Most High had created, yeah, the heavens and the earth and everything with it, and that he's trying to take control of all this, and that he's in a constant battle with the Most High day and night. Now, please, people, please, all right, strip away all that Christianity, Catholicism, Pentecostal church, Black Pentecostal church, Jehovah's Witness, Mormons, strip away all of those different Christian denominations from your mind and look at the scripture. Look at the scripture and read it. Job 2 verse 3. And tell me, does that sound like the Most High and Satan are adversaries? And that somehow Satan, the Most High is having problems controlling Satan and Satan's doing his own thing? Or does that sound like Satan was expelled from heaven or kicked out of heaven, basically, and that he can never return to heaven, and that he's down here tormented, or he's down in some place called hell where it is meant to be total fire, you know, what, over 1,000 degrees and fill up with fire, and it's like a volcano down there, and he walks around with a fork and a tail, red tail, and that. Ask yourself this, does that really sound like that's what we're dealing with here? Because if that's what you believe, you're not only lying to yourself, you become like King Ahab. You want to hear the things that fit in with your lifestyle, that fit in with your teachings, and that fit everything what you know. You don't want to hear the truth. Because all we're dealing with here is the truth. Like I said before, we don't want your money. We don't want your donations. We don't want your... There's nothing we want from you. All we're trying to do is edify you with the truth. Yeah? You can let all these people brand you try to convince you all this bullshit, but we're just trying to edify you with the truth. Look at the scriptures. Deal with the scriptures, not with your heart, not with your feelings, not with what you want it to be, or what you want to will it to be, or what old fables that you've been told or you've heard over the years, because you've never looked and seeked diligently in the scriptures yourself to find out, is it true when they speak about the devil and Satan? Because it shows you right here. It says, and Yahweh said unto Satan. So they're having a civil conversation, just like how we're having one now, right? Just like I'm talking to you now. And hast thou considered my servant Job? He said, look, Satan, have you considered my servant Job? Does that sound like someone that's in a war with somebody? Are you kidding me? Please, people, think, and diligently seek the scriptures yourself. Because if you continue to follow your churches and your priests and your popes and your all these Christian denominations, your deacons and your bishops, if they're continuing to tell you that Satan is an adversary of the Most High, he's got horns on his head, a red fork, red tail, and that, you need to walk away immediately, because the scriptures counteract that in every aspect, counteract that. That is an old wives' tale. That's an old wives' fable. And the Bible tells you that in the book of Timothy about fables and old wives' tales, that you must be careful of those. Because they're going to be around in the last days, and they're going to be around in such high volume that it's like you've got a rice in a sieve and you're trying to sift out the good rice and keep sift out the bad rice and keep the good rice. It's a lie. It's telling you right here. It says, and Yahweh said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? So Satan replied, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect man of upright men, one that fears the Most High, and eschews evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. Right? And Satan answers. He answers the Most High, Yahweh, and says, skin for skin, yea, all that a man has will he give, yeah, for his life. But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. So the Satan said to the Most High, if you bring misery to this man or destruction to his way of life or to his family or to what he's been doing over the decades and years, Satan is saying to him, no, he will curse you, man. He will curse you to your face. He will cuss you out and curse you. He won't want nothing more to do with you, Father. As I say to him, Father. He won't have to do with Father, Most High. Oh, great one. Are you kidding me? So, and Yahweh said unto Satan, so Yahweh replies. So the Most High replies to Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. So went Satan forth from the presence of Yahweh and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown, right? And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down amongst the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thy integrity? Curse the Most High and die. Only a woman would come and tell you that. To think, his wife. Because she would have lost things, because they had kids and everything, they would have lost things together. But it's only a woman that's going to come and try to remove you from the Most High, you know. She's coming to corrupt him now, say he must cuss out the Most High. Are you kidding me? But I'm just trying to show you. So you go back, it says, verse 6, and the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Most High. So we left the Most High. He said, Father, your Most High, a great one, we worship day and night. He said, however, he greets the Most High in heaven. Whatever they have to say when they see him and when they leave him, Satan has done this. He's gone from the presence of the Most High and smote Job with sore boils from the soles of his foot unto his crown. Simple as that. So, I'm just to show you that, yes, Satan is an angel. He's an angel of the Most High. Yeah? The angels on the left, all the angels on the left, all report to Satan. He is the head. It's like how Michael is the head angel on the right. Satan is the head angel on the left. All those angels on the left that do all the evil angels, just like the Most High, just like how it's described here. All the evil angels, he casts upon them fierceness, anger, wrath, and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels among them. So all those evil angels are being led by Satan. And Satan takes his orders from the Most High. Not from Michael, from the Most High. And Yahushua, his son. Because all things are under the Yahushua. Everything, every angel, every entity, everything is under him. The only thing that is above Yahushua is his father, Yahweh, the Most High. Yeah? So Satan reports to Yahushua as well. Just like every other entity and angel does. Alright? So please understand that, man. I tell you, it's such a fraud. So anyway, so they look at it and they say, but hold on a minute. They say, so the next argument they throw at you, they say, oh, but didn't Michael and Satan have a war in heaven and the devil have a war in heaven and he was kicked out of heaven? All right, so let's address that. So, Revelations 12 verse 7. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. Right? So, when it says there was a war in heaven, Michael and the angels fought against the dragon. Who is the dragon? The dragon is the reincarnation of the dragon. Originally is the Roman Empire. The reincarnation of the Roman Empire is what we know today as NATO. Yeah, NATO, and America is the head of NATO. Yeah, America is how can I say it? America, Europe are a reincarnation of the Roman Empire. Yeah, everything they do comes from that time. Yeah, all of their laws, their practices, everything they do comes from the Roman Empire, and some of it is to do with the Babylonian Empire as well. Yeah, so it says, and there was a war in heaven, and Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought his angels. Now, when it says there was a war in heaven, they're talking about in the skies that we can see, the heavens that we can see. Yeah, that war is gonna come on Judgment Day, when our Lord and Savior comes with his angels, yeah, with his angels and their chariots to bring judgment and salvation. This is when that war is going to happen in heaven, because the dragon, like I said, is the other nations. It's NATO that are going to go to war against Yahushua and the angels, yeah. And Michael is the chief angel there. He's the chief head angel of all the angels on the right. And then the next verse says, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. Right? And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Right? So, when it says here, and the great dragon was cast out, and the old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Right? So this is talking about the other nations. This is who, when it says here, and the great dragon was cast out, and the old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, right? This is talking about the other nations that are fighting against Michael and the angels in heaven. You're going to see it in the skies, in the heavens that we can see, not in the heavens that we can't see, the fourth dimension. We all look up, we use that term all the time, look up into the heavens. That's what we're looking at. That is where the fight, we're going to see it with our own eyes, or we're going to watch it on CNN or Fox News or Sky News or ABC News or CBS News. It's going to be televised. This is when we're going to see this thing. Right? So when it says then the great dragon was cast out, and the old serpent called the devil and Satan, which receiveth the whole world, he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of the Most High and the power of his Yahushua Mashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. So, Yahushua hadn't been known to the world until he came 2,000 years ago. John the Revelator would have known about him because he lived during that time, and would have known about the prophecies of him coming. So, if when you're reading this and you see and you can see this is talking about Yahushua the Lamb and salvation, right? So if this is meant to have happened whenever thousands or whatever years ago, this part here, verse 12 and 7, if that was meant to have happened then, yeah, then salvation would have hit us already, yeah, because it tells you here, it says, and he prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven, yeah. So he was defeated. He's going to be defeated by Michael. And the great dragon was cast out. And the old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So they're defeated. When it's talking about the devil and Satan, it's basically talking about Esau, the Edomites, yeah, who they're going to go to war with, the other nations, yeah. So when it says, and the great dragon was cast out, and the old serpent called the devil and Satan was deceived the whole world, he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of Yahushua. So if this had happened whatever 1,000 years ago, we'd be living in the kingdom today, but we're not. This is yet still to come. It's just that people see the word devil and Satan, and they always seem to think it's talking about some man with a pitchfork and so forth. No, Satan is an angel, and the word devil means to deceive. Yeah, and also what you must understand is that Satan basically has a possession and control of a certain race of people on this planet. Or should I say they have the spirit of Satan and the devil in them. A certain nation of people on this planet have the spirit and Satan in them. That nation of people, the Edomites, are going to go to war against Michael and the angels. Yeah, and they're going to be defeated. All right. How do we know this? Daniel. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. So at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which stand up for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was as a nation, ever to that time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. So that time is talking about this time. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought with his angels. Like I said, the dragon is NATO. Yeah. And prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, and the old serpent called the devil and Satan, right? Which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him, right? So that war is going on in heaven. You're going to see planes and top of planes dropping down, being casted down onto the earth. That is the devil and the state. That's their army. That's who's going to be cast down onto the earth. You're going to see them dropping them in, destroyed and shot down. They're going to be cast down onto the earth, right? We know this, and then it says, and then after it says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation. So after that war, after the judgment, after if you go to Joel chapter 2 verse 3, it tells you all the nations are being gathered together for this great battle of Armageddon. After the war of Armageddon, this is where we're going to be. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is some salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his Yahushua Mashiach. For the accuser of our brethren, which is Esau, is cast down, which accused them before the Most High day and night. And they came and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, that they have loved not their lives unto death. Yeah. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth, and for the seal, and for this, woe for the heavens of the earth and of the sea. Yeah. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. And when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. The woman and the man-child is talking about the children of Israel. Yeah, that's what it's talking about. So when it says there, therefore rejoice ye heavens and earth that dwell in them, woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, which is Esau the Edomites, saying, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has a short time. And this is why I say, this is why the Edomites are on such a program, these Caucasians, in terms of their space program. They're trying to build all these underground tunnels and digging into the mountains, and their nuclear weapons and their science. They really think that they're going to be able to defeat the Most High. That's who that's talking about, Esau, the Edomites, aka Caucasians, your Europeans, yeah? Your so-called white man. That is exactly what that's talking about. Therefore ye heavens and earth dwell, that ye that dwell in them, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, the deceiver, is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he has, right? Because he knows that he has a short time, because the white man knows, Esau knows that his time has come to an end. So you're going to see more draconian laws, more authoritarian governments coming in. You're going to see more rules and regulations. You're going to see more clampdowns. You're going to see more of this idolatry pushed towards you. You're going to see more of this homosexuality pushed towards you and to your children, to your schools and your education. You're going to see it more on TV. You can see more of this idolatry living world is going to be pushed to first and front towards you. Yeah. So once again, you go to Daniel, it says, at the same time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, who standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. So the book it's talking about is the book of life, yeah, which is going to be open on Judgment Day. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some for everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. Right? So those are, I'll quickly show you those are. Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 15. We'll come back to that. So we've got, and this is it here. This is what that's talking about here. It says, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. So that is what that is speaking of. So when you go back to here, and it says, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some of everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. That's what that's talking about. And the next verse says, and they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. But thou, O Daniel, shut up thy words and seal the book even to this time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Then I, Daniel, looked, and behold, there stood other two, the one of this side of the bank of the river, and the other of that side of the river. And one said to the man clothed in linen, which is Yahushai, which was upon the waters of the river, how long shall it be to the end of these wonders? And I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swear by him that liveth for ever, that it shall be for a time, times and a half. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. So these things cannot happen until Israel has been fully scattered, yeah, which is what's happened now, yeah. So where are we? Daniel. So we go back up here, and we tell you once again that here there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. My point is, once again, I'm going to reiterate the point, is that this has not happened yet. Michael has not fought against the dragon, and the dragon has not fought against the angels yet. This is we're going to see in the heavens, in the sky. This is the war that's going to happen on Judgment Day. So when this happens here, when you go to Joel 2, no, sorry, 3:1, I believe. It's when this happens. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. Right, listen carefully. I will also gather all nations, I will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, yeah, and parted my land. And what did Daniel say? Daniel said, where was that here? And I heard the man clothed in linen, which is Yahushai, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swear by him that liveth for ever, that it shall be for a time, times and a half. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. All right? So, and just like it says here, and I will gather all nations, which will bring them into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people, for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered amongst the nations, and parted my land, and have cast lots for my people, which is an auction. When you cast lots to someone on an auction block, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, they might be drunk. And that's what they did during the slave trade. When they were selling you on those slave blocks, they were selling a boy for a harlot and a girl for a case of wine. So this thing with Michael is not happened yet. It's not happened yet at all. And more evidence of that is when you come here. It says Revelation chapter 19 verse 11. And it says, and I saw heaven open, and behold a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he does judge and make war. Right? So when it says I saw heaven open, we know, we look at the sky and we say the heavens. That's what it's talking about. The heavens, the skies opening up. Right? So it says, verse 12, it says, his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of, what? The Most High, the Word of the Power. And the armies which were in heaven, you see that? Followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and the wrath of the Almighty power. And he has on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of the heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great power, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of the mighty men, and the flesh of the horses, and of them that sit on them, and of the flesh of all the men, that both free and bond, both small and great. And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet, and wrought miracles before him, which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast. And that's the RFID chip. And them that worship his image, these both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. And that's going to be the nuclear fallout. And the remnant was slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh. So, I go back to it. When it says, and I saw heaven open, and behold a white horse, and that sat upon him were called Faithful and True, and in the righteousness he does judge and make war. That's Yahushai. That's him in his chariot. And when it says his eyes were as a flame of fire, we know that. And on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name was called the Word of the Powers. And his armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in linen and white clean. So this, right? So who are the armies which were in heaven followed him? This is who they are. And I heard a man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swear by him that liveth forever, that it shall be for a time and times and a left and a half, and when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all things shall be finished. Right? So we want to know who the army was that's with him. It's here. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, which are the Israelites. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation ever at that same time. Right? So let's find out when that time of trouble is. And I saw heaven open, and behold a white horse, and him that sat upon him with great, fruitful and true, and in righteousness he does judge the war. His eyes was there a flame of fire, and his head was many crowns, and his name was written that no man knew but himself. And he came clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name was called the Word of the Most High, the Word of the Powers of the Elohim. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon the white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. Listen carefully. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the Almighty power. So go back to Daniel 12. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that same time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Right? So we go back here again. Where are we? And it says, and the armies which were in heaven followed him That's Michael. That's following Yahushai upon white horses, which are in their chariots, what we call UFO, clothed in fine linen, white and clean, right? What did he say? And he said, the monk stand and the great prince stand up for children and thy people, and there was time, trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same time, right? And if you go down here, it says, then I, Daniel, looked, and behold, there stood other two, the one on this side of the bank of the river, and the other on that side of the bank of the river. And one said unto the man clothed in linen, which was upon the water of the river, how long shall it be to the end of these wonders? And I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, which he held up as his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swear by him that liveth for ever and ever, it shall be for a time, times and a half. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. And I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, go, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end. So that, not even Daniel, who was one of the wisest men in Babylon, probably the wisest man in Babylon when they was taken into captivity by Nebuchadnezzar. And then you had Meshach, Abednego, I forget the other prophet name. There was Meshach, Abednego, there was 3 other prophets with Daniel, and they were considered the wisest men out of all of the wise men. They outdid all Nebuchadnezzar's wise men and sorcerers in the kingdom, right? So even Daniel, as wise as he was back then, he was able to read and break down Nebuchadnezzar's dream about the statue in the bronze and the miry clay mixed with the iron and the iron mixed with the bronze and so forth. You know, the big statue of Nebuchadnezzar that he broke down what it meant and how the Persians were going to take down the Babylonians then, and he was telling the prophecy of that. He knew that then, but even he didn't understand this, Daniel himself, then back then, which is understandable. But now we can see that. So what I'm trying to show you is that this myth about Michael fighting at war in heaven has not happened yet. Between the book of Daniel 12 and the book of Revelations 19 and the book of Revelation 12, it tells you that war has not happened yet. That's still to come. That war is still to come. As simple as that. So, just to finish off on a few more here. Amos. Shall a trumpet, Amos 3 and 6, shall a trumpet be blown in a city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and Yahweh has not done it? Surely Yahweh will do nothing, but he reveals his secret unto his servants, the prophets. And that's what he's doing to us. He's revealing the secrets of the scriptures unto us. Because I'm telling you, you have to be spiritually intact with these scriptures, and you also have to have a teacher who knows scriptures in Hebrew and Greek that can help you break down the scriptures, that will bring you on the road where you're able to start breaking down the scriptures. And when the Lord, ultimately, when the Most High starts dealing with you, Yahweh starts dealing with you spiritually, you will be able to break down these scriptures. You will no longer be indoctrinated by all this church, Catholic, Protestant, Jehovah's Witness, all these different church doctrines. They will no longer be captivating you. You'll actually see the scriptures for what it is. So when it says here, shall a trumpet be blown in a city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city and Yahweh has not done it? It's as plain and plain as you can see here. The Most High is responsible for the evil as well as the good. Yeah. Isaiah 45 and 6. I am Yahweh and there is none else. Because everyone wants to think, oh, it's the devil. The devil say, no. The Satan works for the Most High. All right, it says, I am Yahweh, and there is none else. There is no power besides me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. No Buddhist, no Sikh, no Muslim, no Allah, no Hindu, no Buddha God, no friggin' Scientologists, no, what you call them people out there. There's so many different denominations, religions out there. There is no other power, none, zero, but the Most High Yahweh. Right? Verse 7. I form the light and create the darkness. So all these other religions that are practicing their bogus idolatry religions are doing it in a place that was created by the Most High, but yet they're worshipping some other god and idolatries and all the rest of it and that. They're here doing it here. Because like it says that I form the light and create the darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, the Lord, do all these things. You understand? He makes peace and he creates evil. The devil ain't no blown out, running around doing nothing, working with different angels under the radar. Lord can't control him, always fighting against him, always trying to get the better of him. No, mate, he's taking orders just like every other soul, living or non-living thing on this planet. Whatever you want to call it, every single star, planet, angel, insect, creature, everything bows down to Yahweh. And then after that, they all bow down to Yahweh Shai. And the only person that doesn't have to, the only person that only has to bow down to one person is Yahweh Shai, who bows down to the Most High. The Most High don't bow down to nobody. Simple. All right? So, Psalm 75:7. But the Most High is the judge. Hear that? He putteth down one and setteth up another. For in the hand of Yahweh there is a cup, and the wine is red, it is full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same, but the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. But I will declare forever, I will sing praises of the Most High of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. Simple. Ecclesiastics. Sorry. Psalms 75. Ecclesiastes, sorry. 7:13. Consider the work of the Most High, for who can make that straight which he has made crooked? It's true. In the day of prosperity he's joyful, but in the day of adversity consider. The Most High also has set the one over against the other, to the end that man should find nothing after him. I tell you, you got to understand this. And there's one more scripture I want to get here. I'm going to quickly dig it out here. One more scripture I want you to understand about Satan. That's it right here. I got it right here. Isaiah 14. 12. That's what I want. Now we're going to finish on this one here. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Right? Since everybody thinks he was cast out of heaven and so forth, just listen carefully to this scripture. But this is what I'm going to finish on. Yeah? And this is what's good. This is like the final nail in the coffin to all those people that believe Satan is some angel running around doing his own. No, Satan is an angel that works for the Most High, that is the head of all of the angels on his left hand side, that comes and does all the evil, the work of evil for Yahweh Shai and the Most High throughout the earth. Simple as that. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? So we showed you how Satan and Lucifer had weakened the nations, how he's going to go to war with the angels of Michael, and how Satan, like I said, the dragon, which is the Roman Empire, which are the Edomites, they have the spirit of Satan in them. Yeah. So listen, watch this. You're going to understand what I'm telling you, that Satan is just a simple man. He's a spirit. He's a spiritual being, an angel. Yeah. But Satan, like I said before, is also the spirit of people on this planet that have the spirit of Satan. Are those people who we call the Edomites, aka Caucasians, have the spirit of Satan in them for their works. Yeah. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. Right. Listen, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. Yeah. Who is saying that? That's man. That's man. The wicked man on this planet that talks like that. That's got their space stations out there. That's sending out rockets and probes out everywhere because they believe they're the Most High. They want to exalt their throne above the stars of the Most High. Yeah. It says, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, which is what he's done. I will be like the Most High. But this is what they speak of. This is what these Caucasians, these Edomites speak. They will speak. This is how they speak. They want to be like the Most High. They believe because they've got all this science and technology that they can be like the Most High. Listen carefully. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, which is your grave. Yeah. So if Satan, listen carefully. If Satan is already in hell, controls hell, is the master of hell, has a big red fork, 2 horns, a red tail, and so forth. Why, for lack of a better word, this is a bit of a pun, why the hell would Isaiah be saying in this prophecy here, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit, if he's already in hell? Ask yourself that. If he's already in hell and he controls hell, and he's the king of hell, that's his kingdom and everything, and all the souls of the wicked that when they die they're meant to go to this man here, and like I already said to before, that the Most High is the king, is the master, is the owner of every single spirit and soul, good, bad, or ugly, all go back to the Most High. So if Satan is already in hell, why would it say here, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit? Because like I said before, hell is your grave. Hell in Greek comes from the word Hades, yeah, which was the underworld, yeah, which just means grave, which came from the Hebrew word Sheol, which means grave. So yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, which means it means Satan, the Edomites, Esau, the Caucasians, are going to be brought down to their graves, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee. So now we're going to be able to see him, Lucifer, right? Because remember I tell you, Satan is an angelical being, an angel, a spirit, as well as Satan is the spirit in a nation of people on this planet. They have the spirit of Satan in them, of Lucifer in them. Yeah, they have that spirit of the left-hand side in that nation of people. And that nation of people that has the spirit of Satan in them are the Edomites, aka Europeans, your Caucasians. It's as simple as that. Everywhere they go is the border of wickedness. Yeah. So when it says there, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man? Sorry for shouting. I'm getting excited here. Is this the man that maketh the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms? Because that's all it was. Because Esau, the Caucasian, the white man, has gone around the world and he has made the nations, he's made the earth to tremble, and he's shaking up all the nations, and he's the man that's done it. No other nation has done it. Not the Chinese, not the Japanese, not the Africans, not the Indians, not the Arabs, not the Polynesians. Think of every other nation. There's only one nation of people that's gone to the 4 corners of the world, and that's done exactly what it says in this verse here, that they shall now look upon him and see, and they shall now look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man? Yeah, not the angelical spiritual being, angel Satan, but the man, the physical version of him on this planet. The spiritual version of Satan, the spiritual angelical being, is an angel. Yes, he exists. He is an actual angel. That's the person who we spoke about in Job chapter 2 that was having a conversation with his Most High. That was the angelic being, Satan, the spiritual angel Satan. But the physical counterpart to Satan, the people them that have the spirit of Satan in them, are the Edomites, aka better known as Caucasians. They have it in them. Because what it says, they that see him shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness? Because that's what's going to happen during the nuclear fallout, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened up not the house of the prisoners, right? Because we didn't know about Esau. He's looking us up left, right, and center. He's not opening up the doors of the prisoners for us. We, or people of color, anyone that's non-Caucasian, it's easier for you to go to jail and to fall victim to Esau's laws, right? Than Esau himself, right? No matter what you believe in, every nation must know this. Every non-Caucasian nation must know this. When they live in Esau's countries, Caucasian that are ruled by them, they will fall susceptible to their laws than Esau themselves. But we are at the bottom. We are the first that they want to lock up and put away. So when it says there that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that's going to happen in the nuclear fallout. What I showed you in Joel chapter 3, when the Lord's going to summon all the nations to a place called Jehoshaphat in the valley of Armageddon. Yeah. So it says there that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the houses of the prisoners. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as a remnant of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Yeah. So, like I said, The physical version of Satan is your Edomites, your AKA Caucasians, right? People say, oh, can you say that about them? Believe me, just look at their history, read their history of what they've done throughout society, throughout the whole world, and you will come to the same conclusion, that there's got to be a physical counterpart that's carrying the spirit of Satan on this planet, and that is Esau, the Edomites. Cain had that spirit in him as well. When he was giving his blessing to the Most High, his gift to the Most High, and Abel was giving his gift to the Most High, Cain's one was unacceptable. Cain had the spirit of Satan in him, had the spirit of Satan in him. Just like how Esau had the spirit of Satan in him. Just like how the forefather of these Caucasians is Esau, the Edomite. They have the spirit of Satan in them. So when it says here, where are we? When it says there, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, I will be like the Most High. That's Esau, the Edomites, Caucasians that believe they can be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Yeah, because like I said, when that war comes, when Michael and the angels and Yahushua come to defeat them, that's when they're going to be put into hell. Hell is their grave, their pit. Yeah, and only 2/3 of them, 1/3 of them are going to survive this. Yeah. And in verse 6 says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, because they're going to think, fuck me, right? Excuse my language. And consider thee, saying, is this the man that has made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms? Once this truth comes out properly, people are going to realize that Satan are these Edomites, are these Caucasians. That's who the Bible has always been speaking about. Which nation of people carries the spirit of Satan in them? And that's who he is. And just to show you that, was it Micah 4? So on. Whoa. Oh, you did do that. One more. What am I looking for? Oh no, maybe it's one. One more. What am I looking for? Hold on, type it in. Malachi, sorry. I'm saying Micah as Malachi 1, right? It says, look, so I'm going to finish on this one here. It says, the burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, says Yahweh, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Esau is the progenitor of all of the, not all the Caucasians, but 90% of them. Says Yahweh, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus says Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, which they have done. They've gone and built all these places everywhere, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh has indignation forever. And there's only one nation of people who Yahweh has indignation on forever. That's Esau, the Edomites, aka Caucasians. And you can look that up yourself, because Esau is the forefather of the Edomites, of your so-called Caucasians, so-called white people on this planet. And Jacob is the forefather of the Israelite, your so-called Negroes, not your Africans, yeah, but your Negroes, those that went into slavery, who were taken to the West Indies, to the Americas, yeah, and the North American Indians, yeah, they are to go back to the 12 tribes of Israel. Those are your Israelites, yeah. So on that note, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Barakatha, Tawada, Amen.